So this is the first of a series of videos in showing what I'm going to do with this garden. So there's quite a lot of space here, as you can see, and it's actually a paddock. And I'm going to have to be sensitive with the kind of design I do here because of planning restrictions, because of the surrounding neighbourhood, and the fact it's on sort of borders agricultural land. But I've got a really good idea for something that's really sympathetic, super high impact. So there'll be loads of different videos showing the progress of this part of the garden. I think it's about to start raining because I can hear thunder, but just to give you a quick snapshot, I'll take you around. So I've already put a hedge in to partition off this part of the garden, and then I'm going to start the design right now. So I've measured up the site today, and because it's quite large, I've used a trundle wheel and a whole host of long tape measures. And it's really important at this stage that you make sure that you've got a scaled plan of the site, because there's no way that you can buy any plants or estimate hard landscape materials without one. So it really is key. It's about measuring twice, cut once. So I've got my measurements here on a number of sheets of A4 in my measurements pad, and what I'm going to do now is transcribe the plot as it is now onto a piece of graph paper and then onto a blank sheet of A3. So that's the plot as it is now. That's the first thing you do before you then start to overlay different aspects of the design that you want to see whether they will fit or not. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll show you the finished result of the blueprint. So I finished mapping out the bare bones of the design now, and I used a sheet of tracing paper to see what shapes would fit within the aligned plot. Now the exploding atom garden has been on my mind now for months that I've been thinking about it. And the whole premise of this is that in the centre of this garden there's going to be a whole heap of activity, almost like a nuclear fusion that explodes full of colour. And what I've done is I've used these concentric circles here to show the shards of the garden as if that atom has exploded. So it is quite conceptual, but I think given that we're using quite a formal layout but with a curved structure will help soften it into the plot of the paddock. So although I'm not going to be using many hard materials in this garden, I have had the idea of using gabions in the centre, and this will give the illusion of the crust of the atom as it explodes. It will also provide some shelter for the centre of the garden. If you've not seen gabions, a gabion is literally a wire metal basket that you can fill with all sorts of materials. And I'm going to use it with a bunch of reclaimed materials that I already have on site and some of the old-fashioned bricks that are used in the house, which will help link the two areas together. Using a scaled plan, I've worked out how many gabions I can fit in the design space, but I might leave a space between them to give a bit more intrigue to the garden, rather than having them next to each other. So that's the first stage, the exploding atom garden design finished. I've got my plan on paper, it's to scale, and I know roughly where I want everything to go. Now there's a few more stages before we get this exploding atom garden installed, so check back soon for more video updates on how the exploding atom garden is getting along. If you like this video, why not subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can watch more garden design how-to guides. I've been Garden Ninja, happy gardening.